so much for taking an interview with me just before a live show in Germany as well. You're in Hamburg, I believe, tonight. It looks like it's pretty cold there at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit cold.
In that you look kind of wrapped up. Are you? What time do you go on? You on in about an hour?
Yeah, 21:15. So we have some time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I won't keep you too long. I've got some great questions to ask you that we can connect with. And just to find out a little bit more about you, Burning Witches, doing very, very well. 6 studio albums under your belts. Latest album, Inquisition, and you're out touring and working non-stop. I mean, how's it going? How are you feeling about everything at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really long tour also, but it's good, you know, we had fun, we were having fun, and I mean, good crowds, and we have this tour bus, you know, that you can also relax in a bit, right? I'm sitting now in a relaxing lounge a bit. So it's good, yeah.
And are you are you kind of constantly touring? Is your family with you? Do you have supportive family, or do you find it difficult to kind of make the two things sort of work together?
Yeah, well, you know, I don't have kids or something, so for me it's my boyfriend just visits me now for like about a week, so that's cool because it's indeed really long this time, like 40 days. Which yeah, it's pretty long, right, to be away from each other. Romana actually recently had a baby, so she is actually now with the baby on tour. Oh, and wow. And there's some friends with us now that help out. And Damir, Romana's husband, he is now on tour with Destruction, so he will come back at some point, and then to also help again. And so you know, it works out. Yeah,
it's hard work. I mean, for all bands at the moment, the touring part of the music is the big deal now, isn't it? You know, I mean, but music is being released so easily online and on download platforms. It really makes a difference what you're like on stage. You're a front woman on stage, you know, and you're very, very powerful. You look fantastic. Who are you off stage? You know, who are you really underneath all of that?
I think off stage, I'm just in my relaxing clothes, I guess. You know, it's a bit different indeed.
Are you kind of constantly thinking of lyrics, writing, and songs and stuff, or do you just take it like real good downtime?
Well, I'm always like writing down ideas if I have them, and there's always a point in the making a new album process that we decide on a theme, and then I will consciously look for things that will fit that theme. So we had Inquisition for the last album, and it's about how people would be afraid because maybe they get pointed out by a neighbor to be, you know, a witch or whatever else would be bad, right? So, yeah, and then you start to think what would fit, yeah.
So the music I listen to and I hear. 80s, you know, as everybody talks about your band, it's very 80s influenced. Mm-hmm. But I hear Metallica in there, I can hear some Iron Maiden and stuff in there, and it's all those great bands. Was that like sort of meant to be that way, or is it just from your influences, or is it, you know, it's just how it's come out and how it sounds?
It's you know, it's definitely like big influences for us. You know, there's a lot of bands that influence us. I would say one of them would also be Manowar, Judas Priest. For me, also Wasp. So there's a lot of influences here and there, you know, that you can hear. Yeah.
all of the great stuff. You see, the 80s sound is where I come from as well. You know, I grew up playing 80s and listening to 80s music within heavy metal and hard rock. And it just doesn't seem to have ever died or gone away. And when you ever reach for a great rock track, it's always from the 80s era, even for me. I mean, I thought that was just because I'm getting old now, but it isn't. You know, the young kids are doing it now. I think the revival of the sort of heavy metal with Ozzy and stuff in the past. Who's your favourite band? What's your favourite track of all time?
Ooh, I would say Judas Priest with Painkiller.
Painkiller, yeah, okay. Yeah. And Priest are quite big over in Europe, and they're still going now, aren't they? Is there any bands that, if you could play with right now, that you would love to be able to share the stage with?
Yeah, indeed, Judas Priest would be one of them. Iron Maiden. Yeah. Yeah, of course, that would be cool. Let's see if it happens. Or let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Your vocals are quite strong on stage. There's a lot of different dark and sort of light vocals that I hear you doing. Is that really tiring for you and on tour? Or are you having to look after your vocals and yourself and your emotional state, quite a lot as you're, working so hard?
Yeah, the emotional state is, for me, connected to how much I sleep. And also it has to do, if I drink a lot, then I start to feel it. I think the Irish have a word for it, and I forgot that word. But if you drink a lot...
Hangover days.
Yeah, but not just hangover, right? Is that what yeah, but there's another word for the emotional impact it has, because I'm sensitive to that. So I try to not drink too much indeed. So maybe 1 beer, 1.5 per day is like the maximum for me. But this helps, yeah. So and then of course we do some fun stuff when we have time, So yeah, and for the voice, yeah, it's pretty demanding, I guess. But huh?
Yeah, go on, carry on.
Sorry.
The voice is very demanding. Carry on.
So yeah, you have to be careful, indeed, that you don't. Overdo things, but it was relatively chill this tour. I didn't expect it because we had 9 shows in a row, and there's 1.5 hour of but it was okay. I know. I guess I just follow all the tricks I know, enough sleep and stuff like that. So it worked out fine. Yeah.
Are you still nervous when you go on stage? Do you still sort of get nervous, or do you just really connect now when you get up there?
Yeah, I think normally I'm not nervous that much, but I do get like a little bit of adrenaline, and it kind of is easy because I don't need to warm up. It's just the adrenaline is there, my body is warmed up, so I'm ready to go.
and with you being kind of mythological and different kind of story themes with the music and the themes, do you kind of change character on stage, or do you go up and perform as Laura, the front woman, or do you kind of like change as you connect to the different tracks? Yeah, I think it's a combination a bit, right? Because I do try to bring the tracks, and for example, Lucid Nightmare, it's a bit more gnarly and and yeah, we have a ballad that's obviously a little bit more sensitively sung. When I've watched you on YouTube, I think you look great because you tend to, the lyrics come out and you have this great performance attitude on stage and you look fantastic,
Oh, yeah.
And so does, the rest of the band. Being all women and, you've obviously been asked this hundreds of times now, but it fascinates me how from an all-dominated sort of rock era of the 80s, how many all-women bands now and women musicians seem to have come and are just killing it out there, You're really smashing it, Why do you think that's happened? Why so many women in rock now?
I mean, I guess why there's such a shift, right? From when it started out, it's to me, I'm not sure. I really don't know. It's I was not there from the start, right? Because my question would be, why weren't there women from the start? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I don't know. Maybe it's because it's if you look at it that way, and if you look at how relationships went in back in the days, I think maybe so many women were supposed to take care of the kids that already didn't help. I don't know. To be honest, it's. Yeah, so
because if we look at any genre really back in say the 80s, 70s, 60s, it was pretty unless you was a jazz singer or something like that. I suppose it was very male dominated across the board, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then you have this weird. I saw like recently that. I think it was for rock and roll, actually, the person that started was like actually a woman with a guitar and dark, and you don't expect that. Yeah. I never heard of that because I'm not so into that music. But I was surprised to see that. So it's really a good question, and I have no answer to it. I really don't know why. But I guess more and more music in metal has been released that also girls can really identify with. Actually, the first band I listened to was Within Temptation. It's totally almost different metal genre than I'm doing now, but it's what got me into metal. So I guess
change genre. Then what would you choose if you had a choice to do another genre now? What would your second genre be?
My second genre, like inside metal or outside of metal?
Outside, anything. If you can sing anything, what do you really love singing as well, apart from what you're doing?
Yeah, so what I've been trying, because it's just interesting and cool as a vocalist, is to get better at fry screams, because I'm just not so... I can't really control it much, right? I need to really warm up and really do my best to be able to... to get it full sounding and nice. So I'm kind of interested maybe in just to experiment with that. But if it should be like a totally different genre, I guess. Yeah, I guess R&B, like pop, because it's also really, belting and high stuff and little cool things with vocals. Yeah.
So, and have you always been into rock? Like when you was at school, when you was growing up, was you singing at school? Was you singing rock music then, or was you kind of singing, different genres then?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't sing really good when I started, right? So I tried to do, because the first metal band I listened to was Within Temptation. I couldn't sing that because my voice would break because of the high notes. And then the other band was Wasp, the second one that I listened to. And I couldn't do this, So I couldn't do anything. And I tried to do the Final Countdown from Europe, because I also like, this music. But I couldn't reach the notes either. So I really started from nothing. And the only thing I could sing were children's songs, right? Because they're meant to be able, for everyone.
Well, that's funny you mentioned bands like Europe and stuff. That was in the glam rock, and believe it or not, I was there in the glam rock years, and I had the big hair and I had the silver sparkly scarves and stuff. It was a great era, Bon Jovi,
awesome.
Of that. But I've been there around rock music for a long time. I'm going to give you some quick fire questions, right?
Okay. Yeah.
These you can't think about. These you've just got to fire them back at me. All right.
Oh.
So,
okay.
First one. Here we go. A song that still gives you goosebumps when you sing it live.
Yeah, that's the ballad sometimes. Now we do it every day in a row. Sorry, I have to be quick. Okay, release me.
Release me, right, okay.
Yeah.
Pre-show ritual, what do you do?
I just stretch a bit. Yeah, we bump fists with each other.
That's
yeah.
it, bump fists, okay.
Yeah.
If you weren't a singer, what would you be doing now?
Oh, I'd probably customer service or something stupid. I don't know.
It's a good time you got the job then. Album you wish you'd written by any band in any era.
Oh, sorry, what was the question?
An album that you wish you'd written by any band in any era.
Okay, Dying for the World from Wasp.
Dying from the World from Wasp. Okay, I'm going to use when I put all this together, I'm going to use that as an outro for you. One word that defines Burning Witches right now.
Heavy.
Yeah. Laura, thank you so much for today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome, and thanks for the interview. And it worked in the end.